So you see my screen now?
I
say yes.
Okay. Basically, starting with reporting. So in reporting, we have two components. One is active and another one is reporting. Basically, these two things are used basically for the replication. Uh, in act, whatever the changes done in the active, okay, those changes are picked and propagated to reporting. So I'll just try to draw certain things. So let me see where I can do it, possibly, or maybe in the, okay. So this we will consider as active, and maybe this is reporting. We'll take some different color, maybe. Okay, so red one is reporting, and blue one is active. So we have various different components here. As we are aware, active is used for GPP payment processing, and reporting, main purpose of reporting is to report for the banks whatever they are based on the requirement. And so as soon as whatever data is updated, inserted, or deleted, okay, so those changes are captured and propagated to reporting. Okay, so that thing is done by OGG. Okay, what is OGG exactly? Uh, it's a Oracle tool. Okay, I'll just write as we are recording, so it would be better. We will report report. Okay, so what exactly OGG is? Oracle Golden Gate. It's a replication tool, and it can do the data manipulation also, and it can propagate the DDL changes also. Okay, like any more columns or anything has been changed, that it has that capability also. But we are not using any DDL capabilities of this. Instead of that, we use our own upgrade tool to upgrade active and report. Okay, so how that we do, I will explain it a bit later maybe. So the Oracle Golden Gate tool is used to replicate data. As soon as active, in the active, insert, update, delete happens, and those changes are committed, Oracle Golden Gate picks those changes and send it to the reporting side. Okay, so we have around various tables. There are I'm not going into technical details about how the configuration for Oracle Golden Gate or how it works. We are not going into that because that would be handled by us. We would be responsible for that, and we would be supporting anything related to that. So coming back to the process, like there are various processes. I'm not going into detail, but I'm just explaining what tables we are supporting. Okay, so there are various processes in which we segregated different tables. Like in MINF process, only we extract MINF table. Apart from that, in there is a process called pay. In that we maintained various different around 20 odd tables related to messages, which are specifically message fees, message parties with similar names. Okay, and in ext prc we have again accounts related tables and or profile changes related tables, and in exsys we have other different tables. So this is specifically for a Oracle Golden Gate configuration, but I'm just why I'm showing because the number of tables which we supported. Okay, around 50 odd tables we support for extracting. So whatever the changes happened for, we are not replicating all the tables data, only we are replicating these tables data only. Okay, uh, for all other tables we are not doing any changes at all for the data. Okay, for example, M family or message error. So whatever data present in active, it would be same replicated, and table structure also would be same in reporting. There won't be any changes to that. Okay, so only change is with the MINF. and why that is changed, I will also explain going forward. So for this moment, the table, all other tables are replicated as it is. So we are sure, we know what is replication, right? It is data movement from active to reporting as data is updated, inserted, deleted, and it is committed. Once data is committed, it is replicated using Oracle Golden Gate, and all these configuration, Oracle Golden Gate configuration are used. So this is the work of Oracle Golden Gate.
One
Okay,
minute. Where this configuration exist?
it exists in active and reporting also. Okay, so I'll just explain you how it works. Okay,
Okay.
so
Where is the location of those files?
it depends. It depends where the Golden Gate has been installed on the
Okay.
server specifically. It might be some one server. It might be installed in some other location, and in another server it might be installed in different server. But anything specific to this, DBA would be responsible for handling anything to it. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Any questions for in that regard? Okay.
No question. So we just need to understand why it's happened automatically for this table, but not for MINF.
Yeah, we'll go into the details. We have different processes, right? Here in if we consider OGG, in the active side we have extract, okay, and pump process, okay. Extract process extract data from certain tables, like this is the extract process parameter file. Okay, in this for example, this is the extract extp where we configured the different tables which are supposed to extract. Okay, so extract data from this active database, and it writes into some file, and data pump pulls that data from that file and send it across to the reporting. Okay, so it again send it across to reporting, and in reporting also we have replicates. So you don't need to bother about these things, because these are I'm just explaining you. So these all things would be handled by DBA, and all this configuration would be handled by us. So the pump writes into some file in replicate here in the reporting side, and from replicate write those changes to the schema which configured for like replicate also would have similar parameter file where it would be have all the parameters for mapping. Based on that mapping, it writes to the different tables whichever has been configured. So this is specifically purely for Golden Gate. So there are different parameters, and we have multiple parameter files because we wanted to segregate different tables in different processes. So that's why different parameter files here. Okay, so this is how Golden Gate extract data and pumps it to the reporting and applies it to the reporting. Okay, so only difference for all tables, the replication happens as it is. Table structure would be same as exactly, but only for the MNF it differs bit. And why it differs and how it happens, that we will see in detail. Okay, so this is clear, right? How the Golden Gate extract and replicates. So this is purely DBA work, right? Any confusion or any questions here?
No.
Okay. Okay. So this is one part. Okay. So once data has come to reporting, now mostly we won't be focusing anything to other tables. Okay, because that is purely DBA work. If anything is not working for other tables, so you might need not to bother about other tables. You can just simply ask, it's a DBA issue, DBA need to fix it. But in MINF case, there are things are a bit different. Okay,
Okay.
so for MINF, data is extracted. So as soon as update, insert, delete happens, data is extracted, it is pushed to replicate. Okay. And in replicate, okay, I will just explain. I will just try to open the parameter file, so it would be a bit okay. Okay. Okay, so as soon as data comes into the replicate or to the reporting side, we have two tables. Okay, one is minf step and another one is minf. Okay, why this is because minf step table is exactly similar to active minf. Okay, so structure is exactly same. There is no difference between minf step. So it contains, if we just query this table, we'll just try to query this table. Let's start from minf where 1 equal to 2. I don't want data, it will take some time. So it contains only p fields, and structurally all everything would be same exactly like, yeah, the active. Okay.
No, make me stop now.
Oh, sorry, mim step. Okay. So I'll keep okay. So if you see all the PMID, everything is same as exactly in the
Yeah.
active. Okay. P balance, there is nothing extra apart from that. Okay. So whenever the data is fetched, it is inserted into minf step table first by the Oracle Golden Gate. Okay, so the Golden Gate insert this replicate works, insert data into minf step. Okay, and then it initiates one procedure. Procedure name is sp handle underscore extract. Okay, so yeah, as we were understanding here, the initial component is Oracle Golden Gate. Okay, and the next component is the flattening. Okay, uh, so flattening is the GPP specific process which flattens the data. Flattens the data means, as we know that payments are stored in XML, so data is extracted from those XML and inserted into MINF table along with existing fee fields. So what that is exactly, we will see in detail. So as data comes to reporting, it is inserted to MINF tab, and this procedure sp handle underscore extract, this is the main beginning procedure which holds various internal different procedures which are initiated. So what exactly here Golden Gate is doing? It's triggering this procedure. That's it. And it pass various different information like what is the MID, what is message type, what is message type version, what is ORIG message, and what is ORIG message information. And on top of that, it also sends what was the operation, whether it was delete, whether it was insert, or whether it was insert, delete, or update. Okay, so this information is sent through this procedure like MID, message type, version, PORIG version, and it's all the information is sent to this procedure, and this is triggered. Okay, and this trigger internally have all the mechanism to initiate. So this is up to now the Oracle Golden Gate is responsible, like inserting data here into the MINF staff table and triggering this procedure. Okay, so that's what the Golden Gate only does. It do not handle anything related to flattening or inserting data into MINF table. Okay, so henceforth,
Sachin, a small question. Why is the extract is from the start table? Why do we need the start table, not directly apply the extract from the MINF main table?
Yeah, basically, see, the temporary table, we use temporary table because it holds the data. Okay, so if it inserts the data, okay, then we can't pass all the information to this procedure, right? It cannot triggered based on, means if we keep on doing that through the golden gate, it would be very difficult passing, and there might be complexities with that. Okay, so we only pass the insert data, we park it there, hold it temporarily, not temporarily, but it would be there all the time. Hold it there, then the procedure is initiated, and based on this procedure, it processes and picks data from this temporary table, all other columns apart from the existing. It also needs that XML and ORIG XML columns, right? So that everything hold it here temporary. Then all the processing happens in this procedure. So that's why yeah, there are multiple steps have been adopted. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So up to this process, Oracle Golden Gate works. Next to it, all the processes are handled by flattening, and flattening is triggered by the SPG handle underscore extract process. So what exactly there in the handle extract process, we will see. Okay, so flattening works based on purely based on these four informations, like message type and its version, ORIG message type and its version. So internally, we have different. Once that Golden Gate pass the control to SP handle extract, so this procedure contains various different procedures. Okay, these procedures are created internally into the reporting schema, and how those are created we will see next to it. Okay, so I will just understand here why what are these procedures. So these for each combination, we for GPP payment have all these four combinations, right? At least, like it would be having incoming message type and its version, outgoing message type or its version, or might be null versions also might be there. So based on that, for each combination, the procedures are created.
Mhm.
Okay, and these information is taken from the XML document types table. So if is configured, if the data is present there, so that information is captured, and based on that, these procedures are configured. If that data is not present in configuration for XML document types, so this particular combination might be eliminated. For example, here, if we take some example, so it might be cam 29, and version is null, and it's maybe outgoing version is ADMN 001 RPP, and version is null. For that specific, this procedure is created. Okay, so based on that, as we are passing all the message information like message type, version, ORIG version, and in version and operation type, based on that specific, for that specific information, the specific procedure is triggered. And if we see this procedure, we'll go to that
Mhm.
specific procedure. That procedure holds the mechanism for extracting or flattening that data. Okay, what
Mhm.
it does, it inserts it, if its operation is insert, then it do not delete any data. Okay, but if it's a update, then it deletes the data from the minf table. Okay,
Mhm.
and it based for that specific mid, it delete data, then again insert. In the insert, it while inserting, what it does, it selects the data from minf stab table. Okay, if we see minf stab table, and here all this is the extraction mechanism. Okay, the extraction mechanism for specific logical field from the XMLs. So here it is extracting from XML message, and this set it is extracting for XML ORIG message. Okay.
All these procedures were created manually, or there was a script to
No,
generate it?
I will explain it next. There is a flattening procedure we need to perform. So I'll tell you the steps what generates all these scripts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So So this procedure, each procedure have based on the extract mechanism or this field, like this user field or this field has been come for specifically for this message, maybe for this combination, that specific incoming message and its version, because it has been configured in a logical field XPath and logical field specifically for this message type for combination. Okay, that's why
Mm-hmm.
only this specific message, these fields are captured in this combination. It's not like that if it's only configured for this message type, for the message types, then only captured for this message type combination. Else, it's not like that. If this message, these logical fields are present in each and every message types. Only if applicable, then only captured. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this, yeah, you have a question?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is SP handle extract, and internally it has different procedures which captures data and then inserts. Okay, so this is the flattening system. Flattening system, the main procedure is SP handle, and internally various different procedures based on that system extract. Okay, so as coming back to your question, how the process is generated. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we will see there are various procedures internally into the active to generate this all set. Okay, so it's not possible to create all this manually, right? It would be very difficult. If anything goes wrong, handling things, it would be very difficult. So
Mm-hmm.
all these thing has been automated. We have packages in active. Okay, so this is active. We have connected to your own package. So there is a packages pkg flatten mnf. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so this package handles extracting all the data. Before going to that, I will show you what are the possible reasons with which we handles the data, right? Means the field is applicable for reporting or not. By default, all the fields are not applicable. Only if we configure, then only it is applicable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so flattening will be done for the fields based on these following given condition. Like field is not detached multi, document or group or multi. Okay, if field is not that, only that field is considered, and it has to be, there is a one column available for q equal to field. If that is not equal to 0, then that field is considered for the flattening. These are the basic requirement for the flattening. Okay, if logical field is set available for q equal to 1 or non equal to 0, then that, and that is do not fell into detached multi, document, group or multi. Even further, one more condition is there, that its parent should not be have multi group. Okay, for any specific field, if its parent is also multi, then that field also not considered for the reporting. But if that fields has been set, for example, if we take x, stmt, acctn, ibn, if it's -1, so it's not equal to 0, and it's a field xml type is text, so would be considered for the reporting. So once it considered, what exactly it would be in the report, basically I will just show you how the reporting MINF table is.
Sachin, sorry, I saw in the query that available for view should be not 0, and then in the extract it should be not 1. What is the correct?
Basically, in the documents they mentioned that it should be 1, but in it should be non-zero. If it's non-zero, then it would be considered. But by when setting for the reporting, generally we set it as a 1. It should be non-zero value, then it would be considered for the reporting.
Non-zero, okay.
Non-zero
Okay.
value. Okay. So yeah, so coming back to your
And,
point,
sorry,
yeah, go ahead.
sorry, and dot with zero, it means that it will not be flattening, and we not see the value in the reporting database.
Yes, we won't be viewing that. That field won't be created in the reporting if we set it as a zero.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll just go through the MINF table. For example, as we considered that X, STMT, ACT, IBN. So once it is set, so it would create two columns in the reporting, one with the same name and another with the OX, like starting OX, STMT, ACCT, IBN. So one for the normal message and one for the outgoing message and one for the original message. For for both the columns are created. So if we see, this is in the reporting, okay, for the MINF table, all the normal P fields are there, all the required P fields are there. But apart from that, if we see that there are various X fields are there,
Mm-hmm.
and further we would see OX fields also. Okay, if we go on the right side, we would see various different OX fields also. And we also see if certain user defined fields are also required to be flattened, then you will see user defined fields also. And the user field name would be the same as the user defined field, like star, 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 tilde, whatever the name it has been suggested. Okay, so it's taking a bit time, but all the columns are come in this table. And if that field is that payment have data and all the required setup is present in the flattening, that data is extracted and inserted into this column for that specific row. So that's how the flattening works. And when the report comes, they don't need to go to the XML. They can directly check the data from these fields. Okay, so this is the basic logic to basically this is for the reduce the performance issues. If we keep on going into the XML, and we know that reporting kills the systems a lot, so to overcome that, this would be the very easiest method.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the
Yes,
reporting. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
yes, Sachin, about the reporting database, general question.
Uh-huh.
Do we have any environment working with the reporting database, or is just for to hold the historic data? What is the purpose, in fact, of
uh,
the reporting
Yeah,
database?
generally for GPP SP Classic, they have history data, but for Classic, they purely use for the reporting. I haven't heard for certain banks, they wanted to maintain it as a history data also for maybe 6 or 7 years they want to maintain. But the purely purpose is reporting only.
And reporting, and do we load payments from this database in some cases?
No, we do not do any kind of processing in the reporting. Only whatever the data has processed, changed. All the as soon as data is changed in active, it is replicated to report as it is.
Okay, so it's other system. In fact, so it's the bottom line is the other system, not GPP,
Mhm.
uses database for reporting or for other purpose.
Yes, maybe in certain banks they might have some their applications picking the data from here from the report. But that is their own internal mechanism. We don't have anything to do that. Like in HSBC, they are doing some kind of further downstream application depend on this. And in Nedbank also, I believe they have some further downstream application or reporting. I'm not sure, but something depends on this. But it might be reporting purely.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so if we see that all the X columns are created, then we have OX columns, then these user defined fields are also there. Okay, so this is the composition of MNF table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay, so we were seeing the flattening package. So, so this is exist in active, and basically this generates the flattening setup. Okay, means whatever the procedures or whatever things we saw here, like this procedure, that sp handle underscore extract, or all the internal procedures. So all those are created by this package. Okay, so what it does exactly, uh, yeah, before going to that, if we see the tables responsible for all the flattening are, as we saw, first one is logical fields. Okay, then logical field XPath, then XML document types. Yeah, these are the three fields are important. For the XML document types is important for the message types like pane 009, the document types and its version. If that is defined in this table, then only that specific message type is picked. If it's not defined, then it won't be picked. Okay,
Mhm.
and logical fields is specifically applicable for considering that any specific logical field, if it's required in the reporting or not. Okay, if it's configured here for available for q view equal to 1 or non-zero value, and apart from that it should be fit in all the conditions, like it should not be multi-field group or all those conditions. If it do not fit in that, so it would be considered. So all that configuration we can find in logical fields. In logical field XPath, we can get the path for that specific XML, where it can be found based on message type and its version. So if any specific message type and its version is applicable path, then only in that specific procedure, internal procedure, what we saw, then only it would be present and extract present for that specific extracting for that group, right? Just we saw internal procedures, like if that specific logical field has to come into this combination of message types, then it has to be defined in for that specific. For example, there is a procedure with the pane 009 version 001. Okay, so that, for example, we will take just a logical field as a ABC. The ABC logical field for pane 001 and version maybe 002. So pane 001 and version 002 is configured in logical field XPath, and all the path has been defined. Then only it would come into it would come into that pane 00, maybe pane 009, and it's all together combination. Wherever that pane 009 001 combination comes, in all that combination, that message would be available, right? Is it clear?
No.
Okay.
As a um, without to ask it.
Yeah,
If,
we'll take one example maybe.
okay.
Okay.
Continue,
Yeah.
okay, in continuance to the question, do we support version here? I mean, if we have same logical fields, but in logical field XPath it appears in two different versions.
Okay.
I mean, it might be in two different locations.
Mm-hmm.
So how it affects the flattening?
Okay. For example, we want some message type. Okay. For example, I will take the same example, that pane 009 and version 1. Okay. And we are expecting data for pane 00. For example, where it went. Okay. So we'll take some example.
Yeah,
So it
one
would.
minute. The pairs of the XML types,
Mhm.
from where this is taken?
XML type path is taken from logical field XPath based
No,
on
but
the.
the pairs of, for example, the rig message type pen 001
Uh-huh.
and the XML message type Swift.
Okay. Can you
Where
give
is
me can you give me one example so we can
ah,
possibly try to
okay.
understand it exactly? Maybe you can try to find out one payment or tell me so I can try
Okay.
to. You are giving me the MID, right? Okay. Do you have any example with you? Have you figured out?
We have an underscore before happy version.
Okay. Or we'll take some example from here. P. Okay. Okay. Let's take this as an example. Okay.
Mhm.
This is the MID pane 001 003 is version, and both are same. Okay.
Mm.
Uh, in this case, system is a bit slow. It's hanging. I'm not sure why. Okay. So in this case, what happens? So this message comes, right? It's a message. The procedure configuration is for this all these messages based on these messages like pane 001, it's version, okay, for incoming,
Mhm.
and original message it's a pane 009 and 003 version. For this we would be having the procedure in the reporting. Okay. Before that, so let's go to the logical fields. Yeah, it's from Tel Aviv to here. It becomes a bit slow if we query specifically for message type tables and all. Okay, for example, we take some, yeah, we take this as a logical field. This is a logical field. So this has the first of all, if this table is supposed to be part of reporting. So this it has to be XML type text, right? And all other the condition which we saw earlier, like it should not be multi, and its parent also should not be multi, and it should be set available for q equal to 1. So this is the first condition which I already met.
Yes.
And next to that, okay, next to that in the logical fields, for example, we are checking this combination for pane 003 version 3, right? We'll just query, okay, where field logical ID is same. Okay, so here we have various different message types. Now, if we want the flattening has to be happened for that specific um logical field. First of all, first thing is it had to be defined in logical field. Second thing, it has to be defined in logical field for that specific combination, like maybe for pane 009, and at least it should be defined for null or version. Where I don't see pane 009. Yeah, it is there, right?
Yes.
So it has to be defined in the this logical field pane 009, and where is the version? Yeah, version 003. It is defined here. So if it is defined here, then only it would be picked. So is it clear what I'm telling?
Yes.
Okay, so these are
Oh,
two
yeah,
conditions.
sorry, question.
Yeah.
So just to make sure, we take the record with the same version as the MINS
Yeah.
or any version.
No, no. Specifically it takes the data from MINAP only. When, as we understood earlier, whenever we insert data, right, we input the message types to it, right? That procedure. Whenever we are triggering this procedure, okay, we
Yes.
send it the all the information for that specific message, that message for that specific type, like EMID message type, versions, all those details. So it would be the same as that same row.
Okay, so if, for example, just for example, yes, we put message type 10009
Uh-huh.
and version number 2, for example,
Uh-huh.
and in this case, we don't have recorded XML XPath version number 2. We have only version number 3, or even we have a default version with null.
Mm-hmm.
So since we don't have the version number 2, it will not be flattening, right?
Yeah, basically, if data is missing any of these three tables, okay, so flattening do not generate anything for that. Like if it's a logical
Okay.
field, data is missing here, it is not configured for that specific logical field is not at all going to be created in the reporting. First of all, for creating report, this is required. If if that setup for flattening setup for that specific message type along with all the path is required, then logical field x path for that specific message type and its version, that thing has to be defined. If it's a higher version, it's defined, that's well and good. If it's not defined for higher version, at least the null version should be defined in the logical field x path.
So it will take the null version?
Yes, if it's no higher version is not defined, it will take null version.
It is no, yeah.
Okay, but most specifically, if that message type is not at all defined in XML type, then also that procedure itself is not going to be there. That combination, for example, pane 009 is not defined, okay, in the document XML document types. So the procedure combination, whatever we saw here in the report, okay, it won't be created at all. Like if for the pane 009, version 003, it won't be created at all because it's not defined in the XML type. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so these are three conditions, three tables from where the data is fetched for the message types, XML document types, for paths and the message types, logical field XPath, and for logical fields, it's the logical field table. Okay, and going back to the procedure, so what it does exactly, all these conditions are met, then it picks those logical fields. Okay, so it's only purely works based on the X fields. Okay, and for each X field, it creates automatically OX field on its own. Like here, if we see, there are different internal procedures. The starting procedure is GPP Gen SP. So it is the it is triggered. Okay. So for example, whenever we do changes, for example, if we are doing first time, okay, we are implementing reporting first time. So what exactly process is that? Active is present, all the tables are present. Okay. Then for creating report, those 60 odd tables, whatever I shown you earlier, those are exported and imported into the reporting. Okay. Then there is a step called flattening. If we refer to the flattening documents, this is a business document I will share with you, in which business related all the details are there, and this is the installation document. Installation document is purely for the golden gate, but there are few steps are there specific to the flattening. Okay, so if we go to the number 16. Okay, so this is the process. So here we are just triggering this G SPGen. Okay, SPGen procedure. So this we are supposed to, for example, this is the first time there is a no procedures, nothing. No, there is no SPG handle underscore extract procedure, or no other different message related procedures are present in reporting. And we even the MINF table X and OX columns are also not created. Okay, so for that first time we have to run this uh, step, this block into the active. Okay, active means onto the main original GPP payment processing user schema. In that we have to run it. It generates one file, okay, which contains column adding setup, like all the X and OX. Okay, so this is the first script which we run. So it internally generates, it's internally run SPGen, and all other different procedures are run. So what those run, which add, which run for X, one procedure run for X columns, it creates all the X column created, creating scripts, fetching the data based on the available for CubeView. Okay. Then one procedure run for the OX column creation, one procedure run for user defined fields creation. So like that there are different procedures. Okay, like X create X calls. Okay. Similarly, in the same procedure also used for creating OX columns, but input which we pass to that procedure would be a bit different. Like here again, user defined columns are created. So once this is done, all the columns are created first. Okay, that creating all the scripts are inputted in statements are inputted into single script file. Okay, then all the required procedures, whatever we saw here. So all these procedures also created into that, inputted into that specific script along with SP handle and extract. Okay, so all these things are taken care by this flattening procedure. It is present in active, and it generates all the required steps and procedure setup required in the reporting. Okay, so once this creates one file in the database server. That server we need to run into the reporting. Once that is run, it creates all these, it first adds columns to the MINF table,
Mhm.
those X and OX columns, then it creates all these procedures which internally handle all the required setup for the flattening.
Mhm.
Okay,
Where the script is stored.
pardon. So these are columns added, then procedure. You want to see procedures? That's what I meant.
Oh, I ask where the script that generated by the package.
It is stored in generally in database server, but I would create Jenkins job it shortly, so each and everyone can use it and create the flattening.
Mhm.
Okay, so there are n numbers of procedures created. You can imagine how many combinations are there of the message types, right? Pane 009 003 version could combine with n number of procedures. So for each and every combination, we have to create. It creates internally various procedures which cater the flattening. Okay.
So it's based on the data existing minf, the pairs of message types.
It only based on the XML document XML document types table. Based on that, how many number of tables created. It's not purely based on the MINF.
So each message type has a procedure with all the XML types existing XML document types. Each
Uh,
one exists have a.
right, like see, these are all the procedures, different procedures. Okay, there might be n number of procedures, maybe thousands, maybe 3,000, 4,000. Okay, there might be possibility. Okay, there might be possibility that in MINF we have certain message type. Okay, as we saw here, maybe we have certain message type combination, but we do not configure that message type in logical fields, okay, or logical fields XPath. Then there is a possibility that that procedure might not be exist. Okay, so if that combination does not exist, then data for that procedure won't be captured at all. It would be inserted as it is for the only P fields without for the XML fields.
Mhm.
If we go to the end of this procedure, okay, if we go, this is sp underscore extract. Okay, if there is any error, okay, if any due to any reason, if any error occurs, by default it inserts data without XML only for the P fields, and this procedure take care of that, insert data without XML. Okay,
Mhm.
so for example, now we did some logical fields change and we wanted that new bank asks us that new fields are required in the report. Okay, specific ABC logical field is required. It is not configured at this moment. So now we configured available for QV equal to 1 in for that ABC logical fields. And if that field is required to be part of reporting, so what steps we would follow? We would run the flattening script in active. It would generate flattening steps in active. We generate one script. Okay, that script would contain the new setup required for the ABC, and we run that script in the reporting. Once we run it in the reporting, it generates all the required setup in the reports. But for that, for example, the certain that ABC flattening, that logical field is expected for pane 001 for 003 version, and then logical field pane 001 003 version has to be present in XML type first, and then logical field XPath also defined for that logical ABC logical field. Then only all the required setup would be present in the flattening. So this is the process whenever the new setup or any change with the setup required.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, Sachin, I have a few questions, please.
Okay.
Um, First of all, the script that is generated in the active database,
Uh-huh.
is it only is it incremental? I mean, it only includes the difference between the active on the replication, or it contains all the new structure?
It contains all the new structure all the time. Means
Oh,
from scratch it generates fresh.
okay, okay. And just for example, if we define a new logical field, and this logical field exists only in one message type,
Uh-huh.
okay. So as a result, even if it exists for one message type, as a result, we'll add a new column in for this X field, right?
Yes. Yeah,
New
not
column
only for
element.
AX, yeah, OX also.
Yes. Okay. Okay. And in general, what is okay? So now, for example, we are talking about the netbank that upgrades from 469 to 4613.
Right.
What what is expected from us? Just to run this Jenkins task, or what?
Yeah, basically, see what happens whenever the logical available for queue view. It's not specifically for report, right? It is having some meaning in GPP also. Based on, I'm not sure, it might be shown in the GUI, or it might be used in the payment processing also. So whenever the product send the changes, the available for QV equal to 1 most of the time for all the changes. Okay. And in Oracle, if we see the MINF table in the reporting, it contains X and OX column. Okay. For example, we have, for example, 100, 200 logical fields are supposed to be flattened or part to be report. So, which creates 400 columns, right? In Oracle, we have one limitation. Any table cannot have columns more than 1000. Okay. So whenever the product releases comes, what happens that as logical fields have been set to equal to 1, the number of logical fields which required, maybe netbank might be having at this moment maybe 800 columns altogether. Okay, that means maybe 400 logical fields they are using at this moment, or by default earlier they were configured. But now product has introduced sent data, logical field data has been changed, level q equal to set to 1, that's why it reached 1000. So if it is reached, the procedures, whatever the procedures we are seeing saw in the reporting, those all will get invalidated because required columns are not created. Like if it's as soon the script flattening script want to create maybe 1100 columns, but as soon as 100 columns is reached, it do not create columns in reporting. That's why all the procedures, whatever the procedures were there, those get invalidated and flattening cannot work. So basically the role of developers comes here mostly because uh, they need to identify which are the logical fields which could be removed from the configuration. So generally, whenever it used to come to us, we used to involve the developers, and they used to investigate what available for QV could be set equal to 0. Okay, this is mostly when the large chunk of work happens. Apart from that, on frequent basis, bank also keep on coming or raising the defects, saying that they are not flattening data for specifically one column for one logical field. So for that, basic configurations like checking the logical fields, or checking the logical field XPath, or all these things we used to do, and for that we used to work with the developer mainly. So that's what developer role would be. Okay. So this is any questions, further questions on this?
Not for me.
Okay, so what should we? I have time. If you want, you people want, we can continue. Maybe
Uh,
or we can stop here. Whatever.
yeah, I have to leave. Can it be continue tomorrow in 9 o'clock? It's okay?
Let me see. I will get back to you in the morning how it is feasible.
Okay.
Uh,
Thank you.
okay. I will share
Thank
this.
you, Satin.
Yeah, welcome. I'll share this link on the wiki and we will share a wiki link also.
Thank you. How do you what is your estimation for the next session? How long will it take?
It should not take.
To
We
complete, in
almost
fact, to
reached.
complete everything.
Yeah, almost we reached the end. Maybe we can maybe 1 hour maximum it would be enough. But we can start
Oh,
working on the
okay.
NetBank issues. Maybe generating the flattening files. Maybe we can do it tomorrow altogether. So we would be able to understand things.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Satin.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.